front of the other. You probably never noticed yourself doing it, but you will now. You probably trip over
You
your own
also
feet
raise
while
your
doing it.
hips a little bit.
Yes, well that's why women walk one foot in front of the other, to make your hips move more. Because your hips have to noticeably shake side to side. Men do not, men walk directly forward. There's no stepping over themselves. That's probably going to be the hardest thing for you guys to do when you cross-play for both sides. Because you walked, probably since you were 1, 2 years old. And now suddenly I'm telling you have to do it differently. A big thing is,
with a purpose.
Another thing, men, when you walk, do not over dramatically swing your hips. I've seen a few cross-playing men that want to walk like this.
Unless you are...
Oh, you look like you're trying to like swagger and...
Now, some characters require it. Pointing fingers.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're here extremely... Okay, a lot of what I'm telling you is general tips. Some things are going to have to be tweaked for your individual character. Like if you're doing a very powerful masculine character, you really have to strut, you have to stand up straight, you have to push that power. If you're doing an extremely feminine character, you have to go to over dramatic. Hey, look at that thing. But yes, sitting. I'm going to borrow this chair. Sitting. If you are men to women, if you are in a skirt, I know you've probably seen movies where, this is not how you sit in a skirt. If you sit like, and I'm talking about short skirts. And it pretty much is past the knee, you're fine. But in a short skirt, like you're doing a schoolgirl, like a gome or whatever, if you sit like this, everything. They can see your ass, among other things. The proper way to sit in a skirt is to tuck your legs off to the side and put your hands in your lap. But yeah, if you're in, like she's doing it properly right now. But yes, if you cross your legs while in a skirt, you will see everything. And I'm assuming, man, you have something there that you'd rather the world not see.
No.
It's rather illegal, but it's just...
I would don't want to.
I don't think he wants to.
Alright, do you need some water?
No, I would snore when I laugh, like really hard.
No, if you're doing a guy,
Cute when girls
we
snore.
sit like this. We need to even bump in our chair a
If
little
you
bit.
must cross your legs, as a girl, yes, you put one on top of the other. You do not cross them. You're more resting one on top of the
And
other.
don't do the this. We don't do that. Don't do the
Yes.
this. If you have to rest your arm, just kind of like your...
Main thing is guys are a lot more relaxed when they sit. Another thing, guys, if you're in a skirt, this is never an acceptable way to sit in a chair, even if you're in a long skirt. Hello. Even if the chair has a back.
No back.
It's never an acceptable way to sit in a chair.
I can get a good angle. Do you have one?
Pretty sure.
Another thing.
He's adorable.
Guys and girls, if you're crossplay, do not use the word like so much. Yeah, that is like 95% a girl thing. Not saying there aren't guys that don't say the word like, but it is mostly a girl thing. Actually, if you say like a lot, stop doing it anyway. There's just, if you were doing, this goes back to like individual characters, if you are a girl and you're doing a powerful character, have that power and that confidence in your voice. It'll make a big deal with how people perceive the costume. Because people will usually hear you before they see you.
Men speak more than the diaphragm. If you're trying to be a guy and you're a girl, speak from the diaphragm. It'll lower your voice. It helps a little bit.
But yes, and then guys doing girls. One thing I recommend is don't try to yell. It's very hard to maintain a high-pitched voice when you're being louder.
And you'll lose your voice quickly.
Yes. Trying to think.
Giggle a lot. You're a guy being a girl, why not?
Girls, you should probably try to not giggle.
What about snorting?
That's pretty masculine.
I'm not one to say whatever.
Yeah. The two people that just walked in behind you also snort
Yeah.
when they laugh.
Dirty, dirty.
Here's your shame.
If you're a guy trying to be a girl, I'll say this. I have very broad shoulders. And girls technically isn't crossplay, but girls kind of like...
Yeah, technically, most people don't realize it, but Grell is not technically a crossplay because Grell is transgender as a character.
However,
Grell is actually a male to female transgender in the show.
it's kind of like, it's really, it could be either way, but since it's more feminine than I am, one of the ways to kind of hide the shoulders a little bit is to curve your shoulders in. It's literally, if you can move your shoulders in a little bit, it makes them look a little less masculine. It also makes it look a little more feminine. It gives them a little poses. And you can get somebody's attention.
Okay, I think now, is there any questions on what we've been talking about? Anything specific you'd like me to differentiate between? There's probably things I'm leaving out on the differences between men and women, but my mind's kind of blinking.
No.
I missed part of it, but did you cover girls binding?
We will.
Okay.
That's a longer discussion.
That's a longer discussion. I prefer to say it for the end because I'm going to tell you the pros and cons that normally people do not like to tell the cons of binding. Yes.
What would exactly a girl cosplayer do if she was talking to a guy? What would she do with her nails?
Really, you can do whatever you want. Like,
Paint
normally I paint my nails. I
Dante
didn't this
Kaiba.
con. I used to write Dante Kaiba across my nails because that's my convention name for all the conventions that I go to and do my panels at. But I didn't. You can just, if you want to have something on your nails, you can just do a clear coat. You know, you don't have to, like, really, the thing is, okay, I might as well touch on makeup too, since you brought it up. There's a lot of little things that the professional cosplayers will tell you to do. There's makeup that you can put on that will make you look more masculine or more feminine. It's impractical for a con. These people are telling you how to do a professional cosplay. They are not professional con goers. There's a big difference. Spending 45 minutes on your makeup 2 or 3 times a day at a con is ridiculous. Think of what else that you could be doing at the con instead of doing makeup that honestly no one's going to notice. No one is going to go up to your cosplay and be like, wow, your makeup makes you look so much like a man. You know, I mean, if it's something you want to do, there's hundreds of tutorials online, but I'm telling you, it's really not worth your time. I do recommend, even for guys, I'm actually not wearing any makeup today because I woke up late, put a little bit of eyeliner on. Just plain black eyeliner, very thin line, because it'll make your eyes pop more in pictures. It'll make you look less kind of sleepy.
Even if you're doing a male cosplay, it's not a bad
But yeah, I mean,
male, female.
the thing is, the biggest thing about cosplay in general, so that's covering femplay, crossplay, everything. If you are not doing it for anyone else's entertainment except your own, do not let someone else tell you what you can and can't do with your cosplay. If there's any tips or anything I give that you're against, I'm just one person. Don't change who you are to, appease me. I'm just trying to educate on general,
Advice panel,
Yeah.
not what you're doing.
Yeah, and it's like I have so many people that, I haven't cross-played because my friends say I'm too fat. Fuck them. Part of my language, but seriously, you can do anything if you put your mind to it. I know people who, oh, I don't cross-play because I look too much like a girl. Or, I'm too masculine of a guy, blah, blah. There's no way I could ever pass for a man. Even if I did my makeup, have professional people do my makeup, and I bound, I am still very much a girl. You would be able to tell by the second I said anything. You can tell by my face. So why bother with all of that hassle? And all it does is take away from your con experience. It really does. You're here at the con to make friends, have a good time. Who cares? Yeah, you don't look male. you weren't born male, or male, you weren't born female, unless you're going into transgender, like, unless that's what you are doing as a personal lifestyle, this is just a hobby. Treat it like one. You know?
Also, don't look at, if your friend's looking and say, you need to do this cosplay because you're perfect, you can look at it and you can decide for yourself. Don't do it just because they said to do it.
Yeah, if you cosplay a character you don't like, you will not have fun.
You will literally be miserable.
I've had let people, once upon a time, let people force me into cosplay, and I hated the character, I was into the cosplay, and the first chance I had, I stopped wearing it. So why waste money on something that you're going to hate being the whole time?
Or time, when you're in
Yeah,
there.
if
Because you are just going to be like,
Yeah, you're not gonna do the character right. You're not gonna have fun. Yeah, I was forced into doing a Honey No Zuka cosplay for all high school host club. I'm used to doing Dante and Sephiroth and Seto. Yeah, and I was miserable. I'm like, I hate people. I hate being cute. I was like chewing on the chair out of anger. Had to go back to the room and beat on the Mori a little bit to get out some frustration. Oh, don't beat Mori! It's fine, he likes it. But it's, I mean, don't let your friends talk you into doing a costume that you don't want to do.
also don't let them talk you out of it.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, then do it. You know, even if it's one of those, you know, oh, well, everyone does that costume. Okay, well, then apparently other people like the character too.
So many people are telling me that I can do a growl because I wasn't explaining.
Yeah, he was told that he would not be able to pull off growl, but I convinced him to do it anyway, so we could annoy our Sebastian. He had no idea before the costume. It was sprung on him.
I don't love you.
Yes. And yeah, he looks great. So many people are like, holy crap, a male growl. I'm so confused.
The rest of the time you see me as Dante, Grimjow, the Deadpool from opening ceremonies. Not one of those three that just wandered out,
but yeah, I mean, do what you want. Oh yeah, but anyway, makeup. Like I said, I don't personally think it's worth the time and effort it takes to do. It's a lot of time, a lot of effort for very little reward. But if that's something you want, like I said, there's hundreds of tutorials online of how to very specifically do your makeup to make you look slightly more, slightly less masculine or feminine or blah, blah, blah. I don't know. Any questions about makeup or anything else? that we
Like
talked
for
about?
guys, how about there's less like boobs and stuff?
Eyebrow shadow.
Yeah.
I would recommend using maybe like a nair or a waxing if it's one, like if you're one of those guys that literally, you know, you shave in the morning, you have to shave again by 3. You might want to try like the nair or something that removes the hair from the root.
I think you talking about covering it up now.
Just basic women's foundation. You know, have your mom, your sister, your girlfriend, a female friend help you out. Just get foundation. I recommend, makeup-wise, I recommend, currently right now I'm using the foam foundation because it goes on super light, so you don't have that like caked on appearance in pictures. You know, like I hate when I see pictures and you can see their makeup. Just like, you put that on too thick. But yeah, I would recommend, especially for men, because you don't want people probably to know that you're wearing makeup, you know, in a normal cosplay. If you're doing a female, then it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I would get a very light, like probably a foam foundation, and they'll just come in a bottle. This foam squeezes right out, and you just apply it. But yeah, I'm sure there's some female in your life who wears makeup that can help you, that can teach you how to put it on. But if not, if you know you only have male friends and you know male relatives, there's tutorials online of how to properly apply makeup. I'm sure this nice lady here could help you, or some of the ladies behind you. I mean, any other questions about makeup? Okay, binding, because I hate talking about it, so let's get it out of the way. I personally am against binding. So I will not be showing you a tutorial. There's hundreds of ways you can bind. Once
YouTube,
again,
internet, you have it.
yeah, there's hundreds and thousands of ways that you can find out how to bind. And that's another thing. There's so many things that the professional cosplayers will insist on. I'm going to remind you once again, they are professional cosplayers. They put on the costumes, they take photos, and that's it. You actually have to be moving around a con. There's a big difference. anytime you bind, no matter what method you use, you are constricting your ability to breathe at least a little bit. And that's very dangerous because if you're one of the girls with bigger boobs, you're going to be severely incapacitated, which means no running, no goofing around. You're pretty much just able to walk around.
Hell, even laughing hard might do that.
Yeah, we've had, usually once per con, we'll have someone pass out because they incorrectly bound themselves. And that's ridiculous, to cause yourself permanent physical harm for a cosplay. Because once again, it's a hobby, you know. Another thing about binding that most people don't know is binding causes permanent tissue damage to the breast.
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Like, it's not, you know, oh, if you bind for, you know, years and years and years, it's going to scar. No, like, immediately, the first time you start binding, you are killing breast tissue, which means the breast will begin to use their elasticity, which means your breast will become saggy. Your breast will become saggy much earlier in life than they normally would. I don't know about you, but I'm kind of not okay with my breast dying. And also, I like to breathe. I mean, yes.
Is there a key difference, like, was it the same thing applies to corsets?
Corsets, the pressure they apply are here.
If worn properly.
Yeah, the big thing is corsets aren't compressing your chest, they're compressing your stomach, and your stomach is, and everything in there moves. Like, it'll move into other parts of your body. Yeah, so as long as you're not wearing your corset ridiculously tight, I mean, they can prevent, I mean, you can hurt yourself in a corset. Pretty much, if it starts to hurt, take it off. But corsets do not cause tissue damage, and they do not restrict your breathing as much as binding. If you are going to bind, like if you decide that is what I'm doing, you know, I'm okay with tissue death, I'm okay with not being able to breathe or, you know, have fun at a con.
It looks this way, and I want to do it this way.
Then spend the money and buy an actual compression vest.
They make them proper compression vests.
They have them for every size breast. You put them on, and it smooths your breasts out to make them look more like pecs or
everything.
Yes. That is usually the least damaging thing you can get. But once again, warning of that is it's adding a whole extra layer under your costume. I don't know about you guys, but I'm usually burning up in a con, even in something like this, which isn't nearly my hottest costume. So that's another thing to think about.
Now, if you do have small enough breasts, it still will cause tissue damage, and it'll still cause tissue death. But there is a way to get away with like just a couple sports bras.
No.
Oh wait.
No.
I can't
bandages. I've done that
okay.
before. Not
She
bad.
covers so many things.
No more
Sometimes
talking
I
from
forget
you.
which ones are the good
The
and the
sports,
bad.
then stop. Don't talk about it.
Okay, then you go.
I was until you interrupted, wasn't I? You guys all heard me talking, and he interrupted me to give bad advice. No, the sports bra method is the absolute worst thing you can do. And the sports bra method, for those who don't know, is like what it is people wear 3 or 4 sports bras on top of one another. Not only is that ridiculously hot, you will stop breathing. I will be willing to bet money that by the end of the con, if you wear it all day, you will stop breathing at some point. And that will cause horrible damage no matter what size your breasts are. If you're anywhere from a small B to an A sports bra should make you flat enough. So I really don't know why you're bothering with it at that point anyway. No offense.
That was not what I was actually meaning.
But yes, A sports bra at most. The layers after layers will cause very severe damage. And like I said, will more than likely stop you breathing. Yes.
What if you wear just one sports bra that's like not big enough anymore?
I mean, if you go a little tight, you're going to be uncomfortable, but I mean, you're not really going to hurt yourself. I mean, but don't, if you have C-size boobs, don't try squeezing into an A. You should really, I mean, you should really still stay in your cup size, just, you know, the girls here will all know not all bras are created equal. You'll get a C of one size that you're spilling out of and a C of another that you're like swimming in. It's true though. That's why nobody wears the correct size bras. And here's just to think about it morally, and then this is the last thing we'll cover on binding. my big thing is, I think it's sexist that you're expected to bind to crossplay. I actually had a friend once who got into a very, very long argument with me about, because she was one of those people that thought if you did not bind, you were therefore feminine. And I said, no, that is not the case at all, because I'm still role-playing a male. And the big thing is, I think it's terrible that I have to hide who I am as a person, the way, not to get religious, but the way I was made, because you say so, or because some higher authority decided that...
The experts told you.
Yeah, because some assholes on the internet. Oh, because, everyone on the internet has your best interest at heart. Says that if I don't, do terrible things to my boobs, I'm not cosplaying. I mean, it's a lot like expecting someone who wants to cosplay a character of a different race to paint their skin. People would be so offended. They would that would be terribly racist. And like that, I think it's terribly sexist that you're expected to bind to do a crossplay. Like people would throw a fit. I had a friend who cosplayed Derek from Final Fantasy VII. If he painted his skin black, there would have been an outrage. But it's pretty much the same thing if you think about it. You have to. I mean, most of my fans are Asian. Most of us here are not Asian. Not all of us, obviously, but I mean, it's frankly ridiculous. It's just all it is. So I mean, don't let people tell you that you have to bind to crossplay. It's utter ridiculous. I don't bind. This is actually like, well, Dante, you saw that one. I'm pretty much all out there with it. This one, I mean, and there's things you can do to, minimize curves without binding. Like this. I'm going to dress you guys here. I actually have a one-piece under thing, and then I have a vest on top. I mean, I look pretty flat right now.
The vest black smooths it down.
I look, you can still see I have boobs, but...
Plus the coat hanging over doesn't show as much.
I mean, what would I really be hiding extra if I had bothered to bind, other than being extra uncomfortable? I mean, would the, oh, that's such a big difference. I really feel like a cross player now. I mean, it's not really doing a whole lot more difference. And I have anywhere from C to D size, so. Like I said, it's really not a big deal. You're here to have fun. So, I mean, why bother? Anyway.
Just to have fun.
Anything else with bindings, I would prefer to drop it and never talk about it again.
I have a funny binding story.
Is it a quick binding story?
Relatively.
Go.
My friend had a Roxas costume, and she cosplays as Sora, but she's completely flat-chested, so it's really easy for her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so because she's flat-chested and she's a girl, it messes up her back, like the equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a back brace. So we decided to put me in a back brace. My friend is like this big, and I'm not. And I was probably about 10 pounds heavier than I am right now then. So we decided to put me in it, and it came from here all the way down. So we shoved me all the way into this like size A brace because it went all the way up to the top of your chest. So we got into the car, and I couldn't breathe. So I'm like, you have to undo it. So we undid it. Well, then when we were getting close to the con, I'm like, okay, you have to redo it. Except for when you're sitting in a car and you're trying to shove a whole bunch of skin into a thing, it's not going to happen. So she's got her hands all up underneath my shirt trying to shove me into it, and it didn't work. So finally, we had to open the door, and she had to keep her hands underneath my shirt holding it together. We had to run into the bathroom so she could finish putting me in there. And then for about 2 weeks afterwards, I couldn't.
There's lots of things that I could tell you about costumes. Any advice I give you, by the way, it's all from personal experience. I've been cosplaying for 5 years now. I've been the vice president of conventions for a set of conventions around the Midwest for 2 years now. So anything I give you is just from my personal trial and error. So your own experiences may vary. But a few fabrics I would recommend avoiding like the plague. Vinyl. It looks, a lot of people use it instead of leather because it's cooler, but under these lights, it looks like you're wearing a trash bag, which is not a flattering look.
You have a plastic bag on you. You
yeah.
don't look fancy, awesome.
Anything leather or leather related. Because see, in the anime and video game world, there is this imaginary fabric that moves like cotton but looks like leather. Yeah, it doesn't exist.
Thank you for saving me.
Yes.
If you want to wear pleather or leather, you can, but we're just saying.
And from our experience, we recommend it because you are going to be out of that costume as quick as you can. You are not going to enjoy it on. I was like, I can stand the heat.
I will say this.
We've all said that.
Leather is better than pleather. Leather does breathe a little bit, but it's
And not,
still...
to be honest, I don't think enough to even matter.
It's still bad, though. Be aware, you're going to boil in it.
Yeah, you are
no
going,
matter what you
especially
do.
if you're wearing a leather coat, because then the coats usually have a inner lining as well.
I mean, okay, for example, the actual Grell coat that I've been using is not a Grell coat. It's actually our one's Dante coat. One. This is actually, her advice to find this, and, we found this cosplay for him. Because this actually looks a lot better than the pleather versions. He doesn't look like he's wearing plastic, and even though it doesn't look exactly like leather, the color's right, everything's right, and you're relatively comfortable.
Mm-hmm. And it is still rather warm, but the original cosplay I was looking at was all pleather.
Like everything.
Every single piece. The vest, the pants, the coat,
Another thing,
everything.
leather has a very, pleather has a very limited lifespan. If you play hard at cons, it is going to rip, it is going to tear very, very quickly, and leather is usually much more expensive. So your, $300 coat is going to last you maybe 2 or 3 cons before it's cold.
I know
which
about
just
that.
does not look nice.
In America.
Let's see. Another thing I would avoid is satin.
Pants and the crotch is always
You
going
see it a
out.
lot on Sailor Moon
America
cosplayers,
takes great
especially.
pride in that.
They'll
Yeah.
have satin. Satin looks especially bad when it's paired next to cloth, like cotton, because it's a very striking, shiny effect. And that's it. Con lights, hotel lights, just make it super ridiculously shiny, which instantly makes the fabric look like an inferior quality.
Unless you're wanting to wander outside and hoping the sunlight's going to do something different for you.
But yeah, I mean, if you like the look of satin or whatever, do it. Like I said, I'm not here to tell you what you can and can't do in your cosplay.
Or something you will be
But
found.
yeah,
Or more specifically what she's found, I'm at it.
yeah, I stated that. Anyway, let's see what else about costumes. Be already covered. Don't be in one that you don't like because you're not gonna wear it.
Usability versus accuracy.
That's I use that as wigs.
Well, you can also cover it with it. No?
Why should I go to the same point twice?
Because the guys are still in it. The pants are specifically pocket or whatever.
No
Most of
costume
them.
you get is gonna come with pockets as a warning.
Right, like most of my cosplays are done secondhand store style. Like
Secondhand stores are cosplay
surplus
best friend.
surplus stores will have
Because pretty much,
surplus secondhand.
if you order a costume online, I can always guarantee there's some part of the costume that's not going to fit right. It's going to be a quality that you're not crazy about. Usually pants. I don't think I've ever ordered pants in a cosplay that didn't come and were utter crap. Yeah, this was the first time he put on this costume. They ripped down the crotch and all the way up the ass.
You can see.
The very first con, and his pants ripped.
Actually, for example, these were ordered pants that came with cosplay.
eBay.
He's got the two
Yeah, but-
front pockets and well, actually even turn here.
Oh, didn't even notice that
There's a
one.
hole right here at the pocket.
Yeah, you might want to bring a small stowaway.
Yeah, this is also a big thing to a con.
Oh,
Albert.
hold on, I got one. Go sit down. Some con essentials for cosplaying, cross-playing alike. Some things that just make sure you have a little, set of these things about. Safety pins. Most of your costumes will probably end up being about 13% safety pins. Safety pins are wonderful because then you're not constantly, pulling, belt stuff and, you can get them in all sizes, all colors. Safety pins are amazing. Double-sided tape is pretty nice. You can go and get skin tape, like dress tape. Really, it works just as well as Scotch tape that you can get for double-sided Scotch tape. Yeah, double-sided Scotch tape's like $2-3. If you get the good double-sided tape, whereas dress tape you get a lot less for like $8 to $12.
like the setos. Most setos have sleeves, like full black sleeves, like an Under Armour.
Yeah, feel free
That's
to
a perfect
modify
setup.
your costumes. You know, you do not have to go 100% character accurate if the way that you do it looks better.
This is how you interpret the character. This is how you are, like,
You
walking
know,
out of the TV.
you know, a lot of the other, and like I said, you know, use me, so I'll continue to use me. There are a lot that are kind of just wear a plain black shirt underneath, either a dress shirt or Under Armour, and that's it. I think the vest looks a hell of a lot nicer, frankly, a lot classier.
And more impressive like seto.
And the lack of sleeves is just a bit no screw sleeves. I don't need another
has money.
thing. Screw the rules, I have money. Normally I have a dual disc too, but it's heavy.
Oh, I was saying about the pockets. So his came with 2 pockets and ripped. These were at a secondhand store. These are just regular old slack stockers. I have pockets here. I have pockets here. They're pleated.
Secondhand store.
They're properly made, and they're fine. My boss idea. His cosplay was ordered. Another example you'll get is like his collar. His collar is honestly strangling him a little.
Yeah, that shirt is ridiculously too small.
Because even though they say they're custom made for you,
Yeah, that's
they're
a big
not
thing.
always custom exactly made, and they're not looking directly at
Oh,
you.
another issue in ordering things online. If there's a lot, you know, it'll say it's a custom tailored costume. There's a lot of things that are one size fits all that you realize does not.
Custom size tailor. Okay, your shoulders
Pretty
are right.
much, if you are ordering gloves with if a cosplay comes with gloves, you will need new gloves.
Yeah.
The gloves they will send you will always be huge, ugly monstrosities. Especially if they're leather gloves.
They're like those
because-
dollar mittens you get at Walmart that are shaped exactly like this and not made for a thumb move.
The ones that I got with this cosplay were terrible.
Yeah, they
I
pretty
just
much
bought work
always
gloves.
will be.
Yeah.
I've never seen an ordered cosplay have nice gloves that weren't like a big part of the cosplay, you know.
R2, we actually bought brand new gloves for his old gauntlet things because they wouldn't have even worked.
So yes, there are a lot of, when you do, so beware when you order stuff online, because like I said, there are pieces of the costume that they will say is, that they just make it the one size. When I ordered my Sephiroth, it was extremely custom made, but there's an underpiece that, it's the straps that go across the chest. I don't know how many of you know what Sephiroth looks like. But he's got like leather straps that go across his chest under his coat. Well, these straps are attached to like this leather piece of material.
It's like a cincher.
But it's like a cincher, except that it would fit someone probably about 5 times my size. Like I could probably fit another me in it with me.
Pretty hot.
So I'm just like, who are you making this for? Oh, and then my pants came back to the same costume. The coat was fabulous, pretty much everything else was crap. The pants I got were the right length, you know, they were made, you know, for my height, you know, I'm 5 foot, but they had a waist like this. I don't think I could have ever fit in this. You know, and this, when I first ordered the costume, I was only like 92 pounds. This was back when I was 15. I was only like 92 pounds, and I still couldn't fit into it. Who do you know that's 5 foot tall and less than 92 pounds? Who the hell did they send me pants for?
Asian.
Apparently.
My weight vest is a double XL. I'm not a double XL.
They're tiny.
And it's still tight on me. It's like...
But yes, I think it's, does anyone have the time or start clocking?
It's 1:45.
Then yes, we are going to go into wigs now. Unless there's any questions. Yes.
There's just one thing I'd like to point out.
Okay.
With some costumes, you can either make your own homemade ice vest, or you can get
Are you talking about cooling
ice
systems?
packs and stuff, but you still gotta watch out so your body temperature doesn't
Yes, you don't go
up
the
or down
opposite
too
way
fast.
too.
You actually have to be careful with that. At Disney World, those are banned from the people that are in costume, because if you have an undiagnosed heart condition, it can actually kill you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's another one of those things that,
I just wanted to get that warning out.
yeah.
Watch out for the cooled vest because it can be a pro and a con.
Yeah, you'll be cooler, but there's wigs that come with it. Okay, we are going to talk about wigs now, because I like talking about wigs. Okay, first thing with wigs. Who here doesn't know what a wig is? Emily, you're adult.
Hey, one hitter.
Anyway, okay, wig. See, my biggest warning to you in buying a wig is do not go to a cosplay website. By cosplay website, I mean websites like Cosplay Fever,
Avoid Cosplay House at all costs.
Cosplay House.
Period. I mean,
for
not
a few reasons.
everything.
One reason is they do not guarantee their products. So if you get a product from them and it's utter crap, they will not refund you no matter how much you spend on it.
My Grimjow.
Two, they will take, we're not going into that, we don't have time.
I'm just saying that.
Two, they take photos from other websites and use them as theirs. It's like, oh yeah, you're getting a Grimjow mask and this is what it looks like. Then you get it and they're like, oh well, our photos are example photos of what's kind of like what you're getting.
It's similar to what we're hand making that we're not spending any time on.
Yeah, so you got to really, really watch out for those because like I said, they do not guarantee their products at all.
And they have
Another
a fine
thing
print
is,
that says...
you will pretty much be guaranteed to be ripped off price-wise, especially with wigs specifically. Because what it is they're taking a cheap wig, they add some hairspray into it, and now they're going to charge you 4 times the amount because it's styled.
and cut.
I get most of my wigs from eBay, honestly, because they're just, for one, eBay guarantees it. If the wig you get is shit, eBay will pay you back if the seller won't. And eBay has a policy that they have to show you the product you're getting. So you know for a fact you are getting what is shown. And if not, like I said, eBay will refund you should there be a problem. But a big thing is, like I said, most cosplay websites jack up the price because they claim the wig has been styled for the character, which normally you will still receive a very basic wig that you now paid $70 for. Paying $70 for a wig is ridiculously stupid. It is, like, I've had so many people that, message me and be like, Eric, can we find a wig? These wigs are kind of what I'm good at. I'll be like, yeah, sure. And then I'll be like, but I always ask, how much are you willing to spend? So I know where I'm looking for. You would have no idea how often I get, anywhere from $60 to $100. I'm like, how about 25? I mean...
Tell you what, you pay me...
Yeah, how about you pay me...
You hand me the $60 and I'll buy you the wig. 30?
But, I mean, the wig I'm wearing right now was 20 to 25. I don't remember exactly.
Hell, this grill that she found for me,
right now,
all the way down, $27. $27.
22.
Yeah, his
And
wig
it's
was 22.
47 and a half inches.
Yeah, there is no reason to go through a cosplay
All
website
the
because
way
you will
down.
always get overcharged.
Where did you get that one at?
eBay.
Like I said, that's what we're saying.
We typed
eBay.
in red long wig.
And then
That's what we got.
send her some links, and then she typed in her own links and says, no, you're an idiot, do this. I hear that a lot, honestly.
That does happen a lot.
You're an idiot,
Another
stop
thing,
it.
1 second, I'm not yet. Another thing is, only buy Kankamon wigs.
Or
Kankamon
real
is,
hair.
or if it says heat-resistant fiber, that's usually Kankamon as well. But wigs come in many different kinds of plastic. But Kankamon is the highest quality that you're going to find, other than real human hair, which is going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Or you can shave off your friends. Just saying.
But you want to make sure it's
They
Kankamon.
have-
The only thing is, watch out for wigs that are too shiny. Even Kankamon wigs can be guilty of that sometimes. And the issue with that is,
Stand for a picture. Flash suddenly, and you have the sun on your
yes,
head.
that's true. But the big thing is, with wigs, you do not want your cosplay to look like you were wearing a wig. You want your wigs to look like they're real hair. Obviously, for some people, that's not going to happen. They're very obviously fake.
Tell the
But-
Grimjow one in Walmart.
Yeah, his Grimjow wig. When we went to Walmart, he was wearing it, and people actually stopped and asked him how he got his hair to look like that.
Seriously.
And that's what you want people to do with your wig.
I can't take any credit for that because she is the one who styled it.
But a big thing is, and this is true with everything cosplay related, you want to go with what looks good on you over what's character accurate. Because nobody has ever walked up to a cosplayer and said, well, your costume's accurate.
You want them to look and say, you look really good, or
Yeah,
you look
your
like a
costume
really
looks
great.
great.
When I do my Yami Merrick.
Oh God.
There's no possible way.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh cosplayers are honestly the worst offenders
Or
of
DDZ.
that. Or yeah, because they'll have like the huge yarn wigs that, yeah, they're accurate, but God, are they horrifying. And you know exactly what I mean. You don't look at those wigs and think, well, that's accurate. You look at those wigs and be like, what's eating its face? You know?
There's a rodent on his head. Kill it.
But yeah, like I said, no one has ever sat back and thought about the accuracy of a costume if it looked weird. Now, obviously, if your costume looks good and it's accurate, people might comment on it. But if you look weird in your cosplay, people are not going to notice anything else except that you look like a weirdo.
It'd be kind of like going to try and do Rangiku from Bleach and having to stuff your, stuff an E-cup to finish it.
Yeah, I mean, you want to go with what's going to look good on you, and that's especially important with wigs. And a big thing is, like, you don't want your wigs to look like plastic. And there's a few products that I'm going to warn you against that have a bad habit of making wigs look like wigs. And it's funny because this is a product that the professionals, we've talked a lot about them today, tell you to use. Like, they swear by it. But before I tell you the product, because I don't want everyone to be like, I want you to think about this. I'm going to riddle you something. If I made money doing something, like that's how I make my life, why would I tell you exactly how to do it?
I make my life by styling your stuff, so
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you how to do it without
I
me.
make my life by styling wigs. That is how I feed my kids. That is what I do. I'm a professional at it. But I'm going to tell you totally 100% for free how to do it just like me. Does that make sense to any of you? No. But remember, these professionals on the internet have your best interest at heart. No, because if you can style your own wigs, you're not going to go buy those. So they are going to tell you how to ruin a wig. And the key item to ruining a wig is the product got to be. Any got to be product is shit. Got to be is so thick that it just takes on. Wigs are not like normal hair. Your hair, no matter what you put on it, will absorb some of the product into itself because hair is fibrous. Wigs are plastic. The product just sits on top. Not only does got to be make your wigs look like plastic, but the hairspray gives this dandruff effect because it's got such a thick buildup. I don't know about you, but if someone's wig looks like they had dandruff, I'm avoiding them with the plague. So I'm going to assume they have it. I mean, that's just gross. And I don't know how many people I've been talking to me, and I can see the white buildup of plastic got to be crap in their wig. And I can't even look at them because I'm too mortified by what they did to the wig that they spent money on.
Plus, it's also, the experts are sponsored.
Yes, by got to be. They're paid to push the product.
It's not this is best, it's we
But I know so many people who would take a wig and they'll take got to be or really itty spicy gel, but it's always got to be. It's always got to be. It always is. But they'll take it and they'll like make each little piece of hair fall just like the anime character. And then you look and you're like, wow, your wig looks like you're wearing a wig.
And then it looks like plastic. It looks like you put a helmet on, not a wig.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, it's accurate, but it's not good. It's because it doesn't look like you're a real person. It looks like you're trying to pretend to be someone else.
Okay, in this picture, he has 4 hairs falling here, so we're going to spike 4 hairs.
And it's just, it looks terrible. And the people that I can think of that are most guilty of that are the Bastion cosplayers. I dressed him. So, he kind of extreme part of his hair.
And I watched.
To do with that, but,
and I watched him dress himself.
But that wig looks so much better than the individual PC ones that you see that are like clinging to their face.
Because you could think that was his real hair.
Yeah, I mean, Sebastian has real person hair for once in an anime. So why are they going so out of their way to make it look like he has anime hair? Like, his hair is just black, long hair, medium length hair. There's nothing more to it. Same with Dante.
How long did we spend looking for your Seto wig?
Huh?
Looking for your Seto wig. How long did we look for that to figure out how to make it look good?
We played for about 45 minutes that
Yeah.
one night. Yep.
It's more to look like a person as opposed
Yeah.
to perfect character accuracy. No, how would this look
Yeah,
on
perfect
me?
accuracy Seto hair is like,
Plus, also,
it looks like you're wearing a small mammal on my head.
Plus, it's on you. You got to remember that. You've got these pictures of them on the wig head, but it's going to be on your head.
Yes, which looks very different than wig head. product for you that I'm going to show you. That's the product. It's amazing. You can buy it at any Walmart. It's called Silkworks by Professionals. It's that whole bottle right there that you're seeing was $10.
Yeah, this
But no, you should totally go spend $30, $40 on expensive wig stuff.
And this is also good for your regular hair, so
Yeah.
bonus.
But yes, this
It'll look like
is
it's
a
in it.
product that I used on a wig by accident. A friend of mine was like, I'm done with this wig, it's destroyed, I've had enough. And I'm like, know what, whatever. I bought this for my own hair because back when I was in high school, I badly permed my hair and was trying to get it back into decent condition. So I'm like, no, I bought this for my hair, I'm going to try it on a wig. It's like wig magic. Like, it's like, and I always talk about my Crossplay panels because I wish more people would know about it because there's no reason for you to have to buy a new wig every 3 cons because your wig is a tattered mess. But I am going to show you on this wig.
Also, Garnier.
I got it.
It's also attached.
Yeah,
Garnier,
I told you not to use Got2b. I found Garnier, which is super cheap as well, works really well on wigs because it's very light. The main thing is stay away from like spiking gel. If you need to put spikes in your wig, I would recommend going with a paste,
Style
cream,
molding wax.
Yeah, molding wax, the cream, because they're lighter. They don't sit and build up on the wig. But avoid gel, avoid glue, because they give that plasticky build-up effect.
We'll go down.
But yes, this is a very old wig. This wig is probably about 3 years old. It's been through hell and back. There's the underside. Where your wigs, well actually the underside's not too bad because I actually did this wig a while back and then re-damaged it so I could do this for you guys again. Normally this is the spot of a wig that looks the worst. Like, because you'll get this huge knot right at the back of your neck. And what that's going to do is that's going to fluff everything up out here and make your wig look really poofy and unmanageable. Because everyone can see this wig is not very nice. Unfortunately, right now, if you went around the con, you'd see a lot of people wearing a wig pretty similar to this, which is so unnecessary. Like this product is $10. You can buy smaller bottles of it for like $5 at any Walmart. You can probably get other places. I just always find it at Walmart. I'm bad. I should probably like it.
Need help?
Yes. Oh, that's good. Hey, so as you can see, that's not a very nice wig. You were going to take the product. Don't need to shake it. I don't know why you did either. Fun. It is. Whenever you pick up a product, your first instinct is shake it, you know. But you're going to take it and, get a nice gob. You can go pretty liberal with it. There's no need to, like, wigs can be washed. Just wash them in warm water, like lukewarm water, with shampoo. Do not put conditioner in your wig. It does not need condition that way. Do not, because the conditioner is just going to sit on top of the wig and be annoying. So don't put, not conditioner. Your wig will look very destroyed after you wash it. I promise. It'll look like a drowned rat because it's plastic. But while it's drying, put a little bit of this in, like let it sit in the drying wig, and then do this again when it's completely dry, or not even completely dry, just mostly dry. We're going to like get the underside too, but right now we're just focused on the underside. I haven't even brushed it yet, and that's what it looks like already. This stuff's great for your skin, so there's really no reason. Like, this stuff is amazing. I love it so much. Like, I push this product so hard. And you want to start at the bottom. Make sure you have a good hold here, because if you pull, you're going to stretch out your webbing, and that's going to break the web. The web. That's going to break the English. English is hard.
Stupid grammar.
But yeah, you always want to hold a little bit of
I speak words good.
brushing. After a while of going,
I speak words gooder.
You have to kind of trim the ends a little bit. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. But it's better than having to like cut out huge knots. If you find a part giving you problems, like if the brush isn't going through easily, just add more of the stuff. You probably just didn't get that spot well enough. Then when you need to do the underside, I forgot to put this. But no. If you find you do the underside, literally you'll flip it inside out on the wig head. Add more. Really get in there. Like there's really no reason to baby them when you're conditioning them. Usually the
Don't throw them
first.
up against the wall, huh?
Do what? You can if you want. I've actually reconditioned wigs that have been through stuff like that. I can't like this thing up. The underside of a wig is always the worst, and people don't ever brush them. Like that's like where they get tangled the most. I'm having trouble holding on to the brush. See, you have a little bit of fraying at the bottom. That'll happen.
What type of brush would you use?
I just use a regular plastic bristle brush like this. Just use a comb for the bangs. Like, there's no reason to go buy an expensive wig brush. Like, pretty much everything that's cosplay related is overpriced and unnecessary. Like, you know, just to be honest with you guys, you know, like I've been cosplaying for so long now and I've never needed to. Short wigs don't have to be baby nearly as much as long wigs. But if you use this product, you really don't need baby long wigs either. Shouldn't really be rough with them though. Alright. It's a little poofy now. This wig's always been poofy. You got it for a minute. That one time.
It's beautiful. Support for ear.
I didn't even notice that.
I don't really do the bangs.
Because look at my friend, he's never the same, they died.
It will be a little sticky after you're done, but that'll dry completely. So don't like be worried that your wig is wet and it'll dry. And that is our wig now. I didn't do the bangs, so don't look at the bangs. But there is not a single knot in this wig, as you're seeing by my fingers going straight through it. Like I said, this wig's very old and it's always been thick. But like, if you're doing a Sephiroth or Grell or anything like that, this product's a must. I usually put the product on even before I wear it because it's also a preventative. Like it also keeps it from tangling worse. So when you wear it at the con, you'll notice you can wear it a lot longer when this product's freshly on it. Not like freshly the night before, the day before, it's fine. But you'll notice it tangles a lot less than it normally does even. But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, this wig's very, very old. If you use this stuff from the get-go on your wig, it should never look like this. But I got this wig back when I did not know about this product. Yes.
What about wigs with like curls?
Curly wigs are a bit more. My hands are all moist. Curly wigs are a bit more difficult. You can use it on curly wigs. The only thing with curly wigs is sometimes you want to wash them first, and the wash can take out the curls. Big thing is I want to say curly wigs really need to be washed with cool water. But I know just spritzing them with water is supposed to re-curl them. I would try, the product should, I doubt the product will ever take it back to, when you first opened it, unless you completely, washed it, used the product, re-curled it yourself. But it should definitely take away some of the frizz and make it more manageable. I don't see why it wouldn't work. I don't really have too much experience with long wigs. So maybe I wouldn't test it on a freshly, this is a wig that I just bought a con ago and I still intend to wear it, It's like in every indication it should not do anything to it, but I don't want to be like, oh yeah, it's fine, and then you go in, your wig loses all its curls.
Just about a $5 wig is 10.
Well, a $5 wig would be a very different material than a good wig. So, like, do not, Halloween wigs are terrible. Don't buy Halloween wigs. They're expensive and...
Terrible.
Any last questions?
For just to do
Yeah.
my little phone
like
is in
things that
the
you
hair
like
done.
buy the like that you should like look out for in your product description or just like
I'd say make sure you're looking for heat-resistant fiber or Kankalon. In the description-wise, watch out. Just a lot of it, you have to look at the picture of the actual wig. Be careful that when you buy a wig for a specific character, other than the fact that you'll usually overpay because once again they styled it, be careful that they're not going to send you the unstyled wig. Sometimes you do run into, you know, the pictures are showing you are the pictures the wig could be, but you're going to get a very flat, basic wig. Our Grimjow, now the guy that was just in here as well, he bought a Grimjow wig, and when he got it, the bangs were down to here. Grimjow doesn't even have bangs, like, so, yeah, it was, what it is they send you the wig they used to make the wig in the picture. So that's something to watch out for. And if you're afraid that might be the case, just send them a message and be like, am I receiving the exact, you know, image shown? Sometimes, unfortunately, they'll be like, you know, oh yeah, sure, and, you know, sometimes it's just not. At that point, once again, because of eBay, you can always get it resolved. Because they have their eBay buyer protection. Yes?
What about sites that
Why are you
have,
asking me questions?
so they know,
Oh, okay.
that actually sell professional wigs, something like that, something like Amphigory?
Yes, a lot of people will probably tell you to buy all your wigs from Amphigory. Because, once again, it's a professional wig website. And the thing is, frankly, their wigs are an extremely shitty quality. Yeah, it's Kankalon, but all their wigs are very shiny. Like, it's like the lowest of the low, quality-wise. And they are going to overcharge you. Yes.
what do you think of Arda?
I've actually never heard of them.
Oh, I've heard about it, but I was actually not. I got one from them.
Like, if I saw some of the wigs from them, I'd be able to tell you yay or nay, or if I knew any kind of their pricing. But I've known a good 7, 8 people who've gotten very different wigs from Amphigory, and every single one of them has been a very inferior quality that was very much overpriced. She ordered a Bakura wig. Well, it was a punky rock wig in white. The wig is silver, straight up silver, and it looks like a Halloween wig. It's very plasticky, very stringy. It's like to separate. It won't style worth a damn because it's so plasticky, it won't hold any product.
And there's a giant hole in the webbing.
Yeah, and the webbing is inferior. Because what it is sites like Amphigory get wigs super cheap on the fly, and then style them, and then sell them. But yeah, once again, a lot of websites like that, like that are sponsored. You know, wig companies send them wigs, and they're like, hey, these, you know, we don't want to sell these, so you should sell these. You know, yes.
What do you know anything about like extensions? Like if I wanted to add bangs or something?
Yeah, I've seen. I mean, extensions are super. Once again, just watch out for Kankalon, whatever. Extensions, if you want human hair, sometimes what it is, if you're adding it to your own hair, you might want to spend the extra money and get human hair extensions. But you can get at any beauty supply store. Sally, Ultra might have them. I know Ultra has some extensions. I don't know what the extent. I know Sally Beauty Supply sells extensions. Yeah, extensions work just fine. They clip right in. You just brush them in with your normal hair. You just got to be careful of people pulling. You got to check them, every hour or two. Pop into a bathroom or something and make sure they're all in place. You know, I've seen people walking around with their extension hanging half down their hair so that it slipped and now it's just like clinging to the bottom. You know, or hang out with friends that aren't douchebags. So they'll be like, and you need to go and adjust yourself. Instead of just being like, she looks young. Yeah. Well, there's 100 ways to store them. A friend of mine shoved hers, compressed them into a little Ziploc bag. Short wigs, you don't have to be very gentle with. I usually have them stored in my con stuff. I know a lot of people put them in like the vacuum sealed bags and seal them that way. But really, as long as you have this product, you don't have to baby them too much. If you're going to be storing them for a long period of time, like in between cons, I should put them on a wig head. And if they're long wigs, wrap if they're long wigs like this one, wrap the here. I take it and wrap it around the base. You'll get a long like sewing pin and pin in place, but wrap it around and I put it in a Walmart bag because the plastic on plastic keeps it from frizzing. Because the plastics repel each other instead of attracting each other, so it doesn't frizz. At least that's how it seems to work. That's how I do it if I'm storing them for a long period of time. So you just have them hanging somewhere. Dust gets in them. They tangle. You know, the same way that your necklaces tangle, even though they've just been sitting on your end table. Yep, little gnomes come and tangle your wig. But yes. I have time for like a last question. Yes.
You mentioned actually for like the pulse. What was it that you said to like customizing wood spikes?
What? Sorry, I was
like Goku's hair.
Okay, if you're doing a character that needs spikes, I don't have experience with like the super crazy spiky wigs. But if you have to spike a wig, I recommend the Gardier. That's what I use is Gardier. Especially their hairspray. Their hairspray smells fantastic. It's like $3. Just their normal super strong hairspray. And it's super light. You don't see hairspray particles. But the main thing is avoid gels and avoid glues. You want to get like molding waxes, molding paste, because they're a lot lighter. They don't clump to the wig. They don't build up on the wig. So if you are going to restyle a wig, wash it first. Because even the best product, if you put product and have a product and have a product, it's going to build up because it's not going anywhere. So yes. But yeah, if you're going to do a crazy cosplay like that, go to a professional, like not me. But don't go to the professionals, I'm the professional. Go to someone who's legit. The main thing is go and buy a wig. I wouldn't recommend doing it yourself. So I've seen some really good like cloud cosplays that look accurate and look realistic without being crazy. I have a friend who's doing a Yami eventually from Yu-Gi-Oh! And instead of doing the crazy hair, we're actually going to do a short wig that's spiked in the back. We're going to add the highlights ourselves, add the highlighted bangs that are long, and that's how we're going to do it. And the thing is, people are going to look and be like, wow, that wig looks great. They're not, it's not accurate, but there's not going to be something eating his face.
I don't want my face eaten.
I don't think I've ever seen another Yu-Gi-Oh! Cosplay that I'd want to go stand next to. And it's like,
I've seen a really good Merrick before. It was actually the girl's real hair, and she got it because it wasn't when it's all like.
Yeah, they went normal and natural.
Yeah,
they didn't go they didn't go never go full retard.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
She will be helping me with my merit
Okay.
cosplay.
Are you guys the next panelist? Hi, you're late, but that's okay because I went over.
How do I stop
Okay,
recording?
Thank you, everybody. I have to go do another thing right now.
What button?